Hi, in this video I'm going to be showing you a 45 hip extension. Now the 45 hip extension is great for beginners that can understand a hip hinge without worrying about balance, stability. Now one of the crucial things about setting up the 45 hip extension is it can hit different parts of your posterior chain, the whole of your back, depending on the setup of where the hip is going to be placed. Now, if it's more high up and it goes above the hip line, your pelvis, you'll start to really focus on the upper back. Now, again, don't worry about if you're going to get any lower back pain. Always think about it as lower back fatigue, because most people that are weak in their posterior chain will often be weak in their lower back, and when they do certain 45 hip exercises or hip hinge exercises, they end up having certain fatigue in the lower back. Now, what we're going to do here is with the 45 hip extension machine, you can see that I'm trying to look for I'm looking for the pad at the top to be set up just below the hip crease. So as long as I'm setting that up just below, I'm going to be able then to be able to extend right through my glutes into the pad. So when you go to most gyms, they might or should have this in their gyms. Now the crucial thing is to really lock your feet back so that you're trapping your legs, and then we're focusing on center, pushing through sort of center foot and through the heels rather than the toes. When we're in this position, you're going to learn how to keep your knees softly bent, which will allow you to learn how to sort of hip hinge and focus a bit more on your glutes as well. If the legs, I'm not saying that you can't have your legs straight, however, with it being straight, most of the fatigue will go towards the legs rather than the glutes. So, soft knees. You'll practice with that using the handles to keep you balanced. And what we're looking to do is keep the knees soft and literally hold in that position. So then you know how to push your hips into the pad while pushing your heels down into the floor, into the platform. So we're trying to soften the knees, push the feet into the platform, and then squeeze the bum into the pad. Once from there, depending on what is programmed from you, I like to program for beginners, learning how to stay still in this position. This gets them strong, knowing their foot position. From here, you can either have your hands across your chest, you can have your hands down. This, putting your hands behind your head, makes it a little bit harder. But the starting position here, and if you are going to do a rep, you then start to descend. Rather than descend curling round, I'd rather want you to go out. So when you think about moving your body out, you can feel that the stretch gets a bit more greater. You'll get to a point where you'll feel that tension is just about there, or you're not trying to lose any tension. So you keep the tension, pushing the heels down, squeezing the bum, and driving my hips into the pad. From here, if you then start to do the reps and you get fatigued, or the lower back starts to fatigue early, you can then start to use the handles to really assist or take the weight off, and you can focus your mind to your bum and your hamstrings and your glutes. It would be a very good skill for you to do. But that is how you do the 45 hip extension. I'm going to just take you through a little 5 to 6 reps so you can visually see. And keep understanding that I'm trying not to focus on my lower back, but rather my glutes and my hamstrings, the back of the legs. I might add here, I forgot to mention on how to finish. As you can see, I'm not trying to lean back and excessively lean back at the end, just to give you that cue point. It's again a way for you to start executing how to finish where you're standing straight rather than arching at the end. Give that a go, and if you have any questions, please feel free to drop me a DM at any time.